Oh man, they didn't think we were going to do this again after the new year. We said we were going to do this twice and we didn't.
Hey, you know what? We were busy having
We
our little
were.
parties, our little family reunions. So now it's time to focus. And as what we just said right now, the fig tree is going to start getting fruit.
That's right. The fig tree. And it's a new channel, it's a new everything, right?
Mhm.
So the one thing that I noticed that we did not do when we introduced the channel is kind of give like our origins in a
Yeah,
sense of how we came to even be where we're at right now, right?
or how we met.
Or we how we even met, right?
Mhm.
So if you'd like, I would be more than happy to start with mine,
Awesome.
and then you grab from yours. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
works for me.
So we start off with the church, La Luz del Mundo, in 1990. No, I'm just joking. No,
You need to stop. You need to stop
no,
making me laugh. And we want to make this fun. So for all the audience that's listening to us, this town is just going to be about fun, about how life is for us. And so you might think that we're being silly, but we just want to make you laugh and make you smile for a little bit. So go ahead, Kevin, make me laugh and make us laugh.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay. So, uh, if you're familiar with the cult, The Light of the World, this is where the Atabi and I came from, amongst hundreds of others, if not thousands, that have left since the leader was locked up in 2018 for, well, everything that you watch documentaries about religions about on Netflix, HBO, YouTube. If you've ever seen a cult of anything, more or less, this is what that is. It was a cult, right? Um, Now I was extremely faithful. I was one of the few. I'm talking that I was one of the people that if you chose not to believe, then I felt like you were going to go to hell, and I felt sorry for you. Like, yes, what happened to the time between the last apostle and now? Well, we all thought they went to hell because there was no man to tell them what to do, right?
Mhm.
So that is exactly who I was as a person. I was deeply involved. One of the things that I can say that I did in there is, I was a part of the choir, which involved, having the choir studies and then spending hours extra a week away from family and home. On top of that, I was the choir director, which involved spending extra time of everything that I was doing to learn what then was going to be taught as an extra activity on top of the daily worship services that existed. On
Right.
top of that, I also worked in IT, where audio video, where what wasn't I doing in there? It got to the point where I was inside of the finance committees and I got to see the back end of how the church handled their money and where X amount of dollars went, where this went, funding and this and that. And funny story about that is I get asked often when I say I was part of the finance committee, "Hey, Kevin, did you see any shady activity in there? Did you see, anyone kept an extra couple of dollars in their pocket, lining them
Funny
up?"
you might ask, you answer.
Well, it just so happens that the people that did do that, well, they kind of left and they took thousands of dollars with them. So then the question I get asked again is, "Hey, Kevin, after that guy left, did you see anyone else lining up their pockets and everything?" No, I didn't see anyone lining their pockets myself. What I did see was the destruction of evidence of envelopes that were meant for the leader of the church, knowing full well that it was illegal to even do that in the first place,
Right.
to him, to his family, to things like that. So there, we were told to destroy these letters that
Mhm.
contained incriminating, basically information like that. We didn't know any better, and if anything, thought we were just obedient sheep
Mhm.
that didn't know what we were really doing.
Mhm.
We saw discretionary funds get taken away. I'm talking thousands of dollars. Like when you're on that side of the thing and you see everyone donating their tens and their twenties and whatever they felt like they had to give for their offering and everything, I saw all of that gathered up, saved, and then removed for divine reasons,
Disappeared.
disappeared, used for other funding and everything like that, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
yes, I did see items like that. But for the story, understand that I was spending anywhere between 3 to 4 hours on average a day at this place after my full-time job. So I wasn't really getting home till like 9 p.m. after leaving for work at 5 in the morning for the morning worship service and everything, right? So all of that time spent, I was a fanatic, like a full-on fanatic of this man, of everything, of this place, of what he did, and all of that,
Which they call the election.
which they called the election. Yes, the
Right.
election, the entity that has no will of its own, but must be treated as its own thing,
Right.
like it was something secret or separate from the Bible, right? We didn't believe when we were told that our leader was arrested in an airport in California because of the assaults that he had committed, because of the money laundering that he had also done under his own people. Saludos, Hector Vera. Thank you for joining us today. Um, so we didn't believe any of it, and that's something that a lot of ex hello DMers that leave, they get accused of that. Oh, you just left because you believe the news, and everything they told you is you're gonna believe it now. So now
Yeah.
it's you are never faithful. You are never this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Never like that. I
Right.
have we have resumes of who we were and what we were,
Right.
and we didn't believe it when we first heard it. It's
Right.
just that in that cult, networking yourself is everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what networking is. You
Mm-hmm.
network yourself, you get to know the right people, and you get to have these extra blessings that
Mm-hmm.
otherwise are just ways of making sure that you're cool and corrupted and you won't say anything type
Mm-hmm.
of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until through my connections, the people that I knew that sat at the same inner circle with those pastors, with those bishops, with the very apostle himself, that's when we were like, okay, if you tell me that you've seen this and this and this, I'll believe you. And if you tell me that this is fake, then I'll believe you, regardless of what you say, because I know where you sit, I know where you've been. So, in having that conversation with him, this is how he said it, right? He said, I said, you know what I want to talk about on the phone? And he says, what do you want to talk about? And I said, I think you understand what I want to talk about. To which
Right.
he responds, are you sure you want to know? Now, I don't know about you, Thea, but anytime I ask a question I'm inquiring about something and someone says, are you sure you want to know? That's already an indicator of, uh-oh, something's not
Something's
good.
something's coming.
Something's coming. Something's amiss here, right? Um, and he confirmed that the things that we had read in the court documents were just the beginning, and that the case was actually a lot bigger than just California. And we come to find out that it is true. I mean, the leader was federally indicted
Do you
after the fact.
remember? Do you remember what Alondra's husband said when he asked his wife Alondra, "How back do we go?" And she said, "Way back."
Way back is right. We're talking
Oh, said,
decades.
yeah,
Yeah,
decades.
yes. And that is when I listened, I heard, and I couldn't believe it. Even knowing the guy sat there at the table with them and broke bread with the apostle
Yeah.
himself, drank from the same like cups that he drank in.
Mm-hmm.
To have a friend like that confirm that it was true, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It left no room for doubt. And go ahead.
You know what I was talking to my friend Sarai. She lives in Italy and she has her own podcast as well. I was telling her that this is almost like when a good friend comes to you and tells you, I have to tell you something that I just can't hold it anymore. And you're like, what? I don't know if you can handle it. well, tell me, your husband's cheating on you. And you're like, well, how do you know? The responses are exactly the same as what they respond to us. Do you really want to hear the truth?
Oh,
I want truth. Hey, I just want to say real quick.
yeah,
You said hello to Hector,
yeah.
Julian. I was looking down because I was actually sharing the link. So that people can start because they've been asking me. Laura Mosquera, she's actually from Chile, and her
Shoot.
sister has the same name as me. Her name is Tabby as well. But
Oh,
yeah,
Tabi,
and I
Tabi.
want to say hi to Julian. He's in California. I love them. Hector, my partner in crime as well. So little by little, if you guys want to share, oh, Apocalypse is on. Thank you guys. I feel appreciated. I literally send the link only to the people that understand English so that they can hear us. Because sometimes we get, and they start asking to speak Spanish, and it's hard because we really want to focus. We have so many channels and podcasts that are in Spanish, and I really want to focus on the English speaking. Maybe one day we can turn it into Spanish for a little bit, or do Spanglish. For now, we want to focus on that, because we see that the need is there. Many people have told us that the need is there for English. So just wanted to say hello, and then shout out if you guys want to share the link as well. Appreciate it. You want to continue, Kevin?
Yeah, of course, of course. I'll throw in the background music there because
Okay, I can't even hear it.
oh, okay. Um, okay. So it was already hard to believe that
Mm-hmm.
the one place that we loved with all of our hearts was a lie, and it was just staring at the friends that you made over the years, the relationships that you built, the people that you broke bread with and you hugged, and they
Right.
were, some of them even joking around saying they changed your diapers, and they're not lying when they said that they changed
I
your
know.
diapers.
I
They've
know.
been in your life that long. They've seen you grow up, and they saw you when you were at your dumbest and when you got smarter, or if you didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So looking at all that, it's so many thoughts go in your head. Do they know? If they don't, they should know. Look, your leader he lied to you. You were lied to. You don't have to believe this. The election is a lie. Like, break out of it. But because it's your first time hearing this, you feel like you have a target in the back of your head. You feel like someone's after you. You feel like you're going to die.
You're afraid to share, but then
That's right.
you have this explosion inside your body going, who am I safe with to share with?
Yes. That's
You
right.
you have
That's
that
right.
fear. Wow.
That's right. And it just, it really hits you like a bus. And I had what I would consider like a mental break for sure, then and there in that moment inside of the church, where like the only world that I knew was now gone.
That was the
And
community. That was there were your buddies, and everybody was your family. That's the
yep,
thing too, because that mostly all of us, all our families in there. That's
that's,
the whole part.
God, that's the truth. All our family was there, and it was just my wife and I. We didn't know who else to trust in that place, so we couldn't figure out what to do. But luckily for us, the pandemic hit, and it forced us away
That was a blessing
from.
in disguise.
Honestly, a lot of people say that it was the worst thing. Say it was the best thing. Like, it
Mhm.
just all depends on circumstances. But for us, it was everything we needed because we went through the emotions, we went through the pain, we went through the embarrassment, we went through the humiliation, we went through the sadness, the betrayal, like the bitterness, all of that. Imagine being able to
It felt like
finally,
grieving. It's like grieving.
yes, it was the stages of grieving, and that whole year served for freedom. It was like freedom for us because we could go out and about and not worry about, having to be seen, or why are you here instead of
Or
church.
why don't you come to
Or,
church? That kind of stuff too. They call you. Why aren't you coming to church? What's going on? Blah blah blah. Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody
And
was in their own little world.
golly. And the one thing that I say a lot, and that surprises a lot of people, is I still had my doubts. Like I still did, but it was my wife who went and she researched on her own, and she's the one that came to me in private and told me that she believes it. And people think, oh wait, great, that's fantastic, your wife told you and you believed it, like you really love her. Like, no, understand what I'm telling you. This was my life.
Right.
This was my heart, like my dedication, my blood, literal blood. And so it went into building this community.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. So when she tells me that she believes that the leader did what he did, and that was probably one of the worst hits, because in that moment I thought, do I report her as a heretic? Do I report her and save my soul? Or do I believe her? And the one thing I tell everybody is that I asked God to give me a woman after his heart, not one that would help me serve in the cult. And I know that because I remember that specifically, looking for a real, like a woman that wasn't going to be swayed away easy and loved God. And that's what I thought I got.
What a blessing.
So when she tells me that she believes that this guy did it and that my world is a lie, it's hard to reconciliate the two. It is.
She's the love of your life. She's the mother of your baby, and it's hard. Yeah,
it is. You're right. And I ended up believing her. I did.
Praise God.
I mean, amen. It's not easy. So all this to say that we still didn't leave church. We didn't leave. It wasn't until about a year and a half later.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to do that.
It does.
I told you this, Mijo, is that my cousin, that's the mother of Jane Doe 5, she kept going to church even after she found out. To talk about hard to know that you're sitting there in church, listening to them praising him and asking that they're telling you to pray for the person that raped your daughter. But she still went because she goes, where do I go? I still believe in the church, and she still even believed in Nason. She just said, I just want him to stop doing what he's doing.
Yes.
And I said, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you because I'll tell you, I've had a lot of attacks from my family, especially. I said some stuff. I haven't been on podcast for a while, except for the one that you and I did a month ago, or a little bit less than that.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, and then I did one Saturday with Sarai from Italy, and they, family immediately start asking, and there's a person that goes in there and spies, and I'm sure he's listening to us right now, spies on our videos and stuff like that.
Hi.
Shares, I know, and at least immediately shares the videos with family so they can hate me even more.
Oh.
I'm at a point, and honestly, I don't think my family hates, well, certain family members, they don't hate me, but they don't like me. It's kind of like you tell your wife, yeah, sometimes I tell my husband, I love you, baby, but I don't like you right now. You're being funny. You're being silly, or, stop it, but you love them no matter what. And I think that's how we are as a family. There's some that don't. There's no love there, right? Because their actions have proved me that. But at the same token, it's like, at this point in my life, I just go, you know what? I've lost everything when it comes to the outside family. But I've said this once, and I said before, and you're blessed too, Mijo, is that my husband's not there. He never was. My children, only my 2 older boys got baptized, but never really got into it, thank God, by the grace of God. And the rest of them never did. So by the grace of God, here I am in my little ranchito with my wonderful husband, my 8 kids. That's all I need. And I have family members and friends like you, and nephews, and a lot of adopted nephews and nieces that that love me, and I love them back. And that's literally all I need. And if people get upset because we say the truth, then you don't need to listen to me. I was questioned, why did I say what I said, or why do I say what I said? Why do we do the podcast?
Well, hang on. You can't just say that and not say what you said. What
Oh,
did you say? Los chismosos quieren saber qué es lo que dijo.
so I was on well, let me introduce myself a little bit, but keep that thought because I am going to share
Okay.
that. Okay? So literally, my name is Tabby, and I'm from the Coronado family slash Mesa from San Diego. Um, when I was 5 years old, my mom was recruited by my grandma, Mercedes Mesa, which I love my grandma to death. And she was the one that introduced my mom into La Luz del Mundo. And my mom used to go to the Apostolic Church with my dad. They used to sing and praise God together. And it was awesome going to church, the whole family together.
Yeah.
They had 4 kids and my mom and dad. And it was wonderful. Life was wonderful. But from the moment that my mom started going to that church, La Luz del Mundo, that's when the family started breaking up because my dad did he the thing that bothered him was the election. That for him it was only God and only God that's going to take him to heaven, and also too is the music. He loved his guitar, and he said, "Nope, nope, you're not going to take that away from
Not
me." So
giving that one
they
up.
never convinced him. And so little by little, we started going to Mexicali, and we would go to church with my grandma and my mom, and eventually they got the church in San Diego. My mom was the first piedra, the first.
Oh, the first one. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What a
She's
blessing.
yeah, she's
Wow.
91 or 92. No, she's 90. She's 92. 92 years old. Love my mom. She loves the Lord. And she got baptized in el tiempo de Aaron, the time of Aaron. And I was 12 when I got baptized in the Mexicali church because everybody did it. So why not me do it? So I did it.
Right,
Not
right, right.
thinking the commitment that I was doing. Back then, they didn't have the law of the 14 years, right? When I was 16, and I shared this in our last episode that we had, I did go into the revivals, and I felt in my heart that I received the Holy Spirit. That's
Yeah.
me. Okay, that's my belief. Um, but I truly believe that you don't have to be La Luz del Mundo to receive the Holy Spirit because my mom
Correct.
actually was blessed with that gift in the Apostolic Church. And all they told her is, okay, we want you to get into the revivals in La Luz del Mundo so we can confirm that you are spiritual. And so they did.
Womp womp.
They did. Why? Exactly. Anyway, but I was always very open minded. I was always curious.
Okay.
I always liked fairness. Through high school, I never was the holy roly one. I was a cheerleader. I mentioned that before. I would work my little pep rally uniform on Fridays. Everything was good. I didn't felt like I was offending God by doing that. I was just a happy go lucky teenager in high school. Never had a boyfriend in high school. My parents were really strict. I married a Valdez, and he was a PK, pastor kid, and had three. That's one good gift that he gave me was my three beautiful kids. And I was married to him for 16 years. Due to the respect that I have for my kids, I'm not going to say why we got divorced, but we got divorced. And through that time, I went through a lot of challenges because, of course, La Luz del Mundo does not approve divorces. Even though you tell them why you want to get divorced, they still tell you you can't. Especially if you're married to a PK. But I did. And I was a single mom for 13 years. I was happy with my kids. And through that time, I would go to church when they would put pressure on me, and I would go. And then I would kind of like, I don't like this. I just didn't like the way they tell you how to run your life, how to live your life. There's something that was like, something just does not feel right. And it got to the point when I moved up to Northern California, I started noticing more and more the hymns, how they changed the hymns that took the word.
You saw
Right.
that. Okay.
Yes, especially the Creo en Ti song. That one really hit me hard.
Wait, wait, wait. Let me guess it. Is it the Creo en ti, oh Samuel, creo en ti, que me das tu favor? That one?
Yes. El
I
último,
love that one.
yeah, and the last line that says, the original song says, "Oh Jesus, creo en
Yeah,
ti," and then they change
yeah.
it to "Oh Samuel." I'm like, wow. You know
You
what?
know, it doesn't. They didn't make it. It's a real song that they
Oh, yeah.
took it. Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
stole a lot of songs from the
Yeah.
apostolic and from other churches.
Yeah.
If you look at their hymn book, well, their old hymn books, it says there who made the song and what church it came from. It really did. So it's not even their songs. But that woke me up and it put that little tickle in my brain and in my heart and said, something's not right. And I would pray and I would ask God, Lord, show me the way. Luckily, because I wasn't ingrained in there and I wasn't going to church every day and I didn't have my family hovering over me about going to church, it was easy for me. And again, I have to give that credit to your wife and I have to give that credit to women. There's a lot more women that open up faster. I think because maybe it's because we're nosy, because nos gusta el chisme. I don't know what it is.
No, it's
Or
nothing
we
like
just
that.
want to know if it's true or not, And so I did what your wife did, and I wanted to know, what, Lord, tell me. And back then, I actually saw my mom came up here in '97 because I had a hysterectomy, and she was taking care of me. She came up here and took good care
Okay.
of me, and on Channel 19, which is Univision, there was a cut about Samuel, of all the stuff that was happening with Moises Padilla and all that. And my mom immediately said, change it, cámbiale el canal, change it. So I changed it, and I never paid attention to it. So that's why I didn't leave completely La Luz del Mundo, because I didn't educate myself at that time. Again, I wasn't those holy roly ones, and I think that helped me to get out. The first time that I spoke, people were writing and saying, esa Tabita es de mal testimonio de San Diego. Mal testimonio is that you don't believe or you question. That they call you, they say that you have a bad reputation because you question things. That's what they do. They question things. You know what? I've said this before, Kevin, is that they can say everything from me. They can say that I did this, I did that, da, da, da. They can make up anything, but who's the one in jail right now? In prison, not jail, in a state prison. It's not me.
It's funny you say that. I was talking to my dad about the little bubble that they're in. So if they're listening, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. You might want to tune out for this part. So I tell him that, all of y'all talk big game,
right,
in your little bubble. Oh, everyone's going to hell in your little bubble. You say that the whole world knows the light of the world. No, they don't. They really don't. And he even stood on his ground saying, no, we have been told that they know of us, so they're lying to you, which is typical of outsiders. And I say, as someone who is no longer there and sees it for what it is, am telling you, they do not know you. Right. They don't. So again, this is how small your bubble is. You can talk your big game in there.
So in that subject is what happened this weekend with me.
Oh, I didn't spoil it on accident.
You're coming in round circle here. So, like I said, I haven't really spoken too much. I've kind of taken a break like you did, Kevin, from all this. Then you kind of stop and think and go, how many people are still there? How many people still need to hear us? How many people need to hear what made me strong to hear? To have the strength, to have the curiosity to go online to find out, is this true or not, like your wife did? And that's what we want to do, is we want to say, it's okay for you to do that.
That's right.
Right? So when I left, it was because my best friend, which was Eunice Ramirez, which was is a daughter of a very famous pastor in La Luz del Mundo, Leandro Ramirez, which has passed away. She told me that she had been raped by Samuel Joaquin. I believe it.
I believe her too.
And here's the thing. I always say this over and over and again, Kevin. What do they gain by saying that?
Well, listen, it's because you don't understand, Dabi. It was the devil. Right. I'm not making fun. Like, imagine how far gone you are, respectfully, that you would ignore the cry of someone that's genuinely hurt, to say that a human or I'm sorry, let me backtrack. You've studied the Bible your whole time that you've been at this cult,
Mhm,
are taught that God is truth,
mhm.
and that the truth is this, and that these are the fruits of the Spirit, and these are the fruits of not the Spirit. And you have all of this in your mind. You judge everyone for it, and yet when it comes to this moment, to show that you would pursue the truth, not judge, just believe what she says. Like, no, like, investigate the truth. But
Right.
you're so far gone that you can't even do that for
That
somebody.
and you know what? That's the sad part is that I don't want to judge, but at the same token, um, you know, it's like, have have you lost your vision in Christ? Have you lost your vision in God?
Yes, it has
That's why,
nothing to do with the world.
right?
Nothing.
Yeah, they just lost
Nothing.
their vision in Christ. So going back to this weekend,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Sarai invited me to be on her channel, and we're talking, and I brought up an issue about I've known, and I think I've shared this with you, Kevin. I've known several pastors that have left the church, several, and still do. They call me and they go, "Hey, how do I do this?" Blah blah blah. Several,
That's
and mostly all of it. Some of I know three in California, and some in the Midwest, and some in the East Coast. And I brought up a subject about somebody, and it was amazing because I also brought up an example of how my family feels that the apostle sees everything in jail, knows their life, and prays for them, and knows everything that they're doing. And I said, you know what? It's sad that these people that my family thinks that Nathan knows their life, was he doesn't, because they have him up there as a God. He knows it all.
of
He's
course.
everywhere, right? And I have to share
Yeah.
this, and I know that my family member that called me on it this morning, she's going to listen to this because there's one person in our family that's the spy, and records all our recordings, which is it's fine. And I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to first of all apologize to my family member that called me on it today, because she really is neutral, and I really think in her heart she feels that she's right. But at the same token is, I just do it because I just want you to open your eyes.
Yes.
I want
Yes.
you to find the Lord. I really want you to find the Lord and find the truth. Why is it that when we say, "Can I show you? Can I
It's a
send you
problem.
truth?
Yep.
Can I show you the link of where everything's at? Can I just show you?" And then you make a decision. Then you can judge me and say, "You're lying, there, Tabby, you're lying." Then you know what? If you're mad at me, be all mad at me. But why is it that you're afraid to look for the truth? That's my question. And I ask this to everybody, all my friends and my family members. What are you afraid of to open that link? What are you afraid of? I'm going to go back to the scenario of a woman that is being told that her husband's cheating on you, but you don't want to see the truth. You're afraid that
Ooh, deep.
lifestyle. You're afraid that you're going to lose your
Oh,
house. You're afraid that you're going to lose custody of your kids. So you know what? You said it. I'm going to stay in my little bubble. I choose to live within this community.
mhm.
This is my mom. This is my brother. This is my sister. We're all in the same church, and I don't want to lose them.
Yep.
Look at your wife. The strength that she had
It's
to
true.
confront you, or not confront you, but tell you the truth and say, you know what, it's true.
Let
My hat's
me.
off for her. Well, why is it that? My hat, because for you to tell your and I'm sure you guys love
Spit.
her so much, but for her to have that strength to go to you and say, you know what, mijo, it's true.
She told me. She told me. She said, "I please don't look at me differently."
Yeah,
But she needed to tell me this.
yeah,
She did.
yeah.
And
And yeah, go ahead.
no, but by all means, continue. So just so we have this clear, there was a conversation within your family,
Hmm.
and somebody needed to say something to which that 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 characteristic that you should have lost when you left God's grace, when
Right.
you left God's love, that characteristic that you should have been stripped of, is in fact trying to save the same people that think that you're dead
And you know what's
and
really
that you're in hell.
Here's what's really crazy, Kevin, is that I don't have hatred against them.
No, and
I
that's what
don't.
I'm
They
saying.
say that I'm a dog, that I'm this and then that, and you know what? I turn around and go, God bless you. I love
Love,
you, Jesus.
love.
Yes, that's
That's
all I
it.
have is love.
Love.
That's
The
all I
one
have.
thing that you shouldn't have
Right.
because you left, you have it.
Not only that, for the things that they've said about me. I mean, one of my nephews, and I'm not going to say who it is, because I'm not going to fall in his trap, so that he can turn around and say, "Oh, she's talking about me. I'm going to take her to court for defamation." Actually, I'm the one that could do that because that's who but they
Gosh.
literally went in Kazuki's channel and made up all these things about me, and I could have done it. My son wanted to go on there and say, you know what? Here's the real thing. Here's what's really happening in my family. But you know what? I told him, no, Miko, it's not worth it. And I'm telling the person that did do that, that is spreading venom towards the family. And here's the funny part: aren't you prohibited to see these videos that we're making, these podcasts that we're making? You grab pieces here and there, grab everything. If you want to know the truth and you want to be obedient, hear everything, but you just pick and choose el chisme that you want to spread out, the venom that you want to spread out to the family members. And all I can say is to that person that's doing is God bless you. I am not going to fall in your trap so that you can take me to court and say, I'm going to sue for defamation of character. I'm not. But I'll tell you something. I know a lot, but you're lucky that I love the Lord and I love a lot of your family members. I love them. I love all my family members, I should say, including you. But you know what? I'm not going to do it because I have the love of Christ in my heart. That's all I have to say is I have the love of heart
Oh
in my
man.
heart,
Oh
and I'm not going
man.
to fight and battle because that's the enemy. That's the
It is.
enemy. That's the devil that's using these people so they won't see the truth. That's
May
it.
I?
That's it. And I'm just
Oh,
saying, all I have to say is the same moment, the same time that you open that link that was shared to you, or the link that you opened up on Sarai's channel on Saturday, and you opened it up and you shared it with my family and you shared it with everybody else because you want them to hate me even more, then do the right thing. If you don't have nothing to hide, do the right thing. Open up the link. I'm going to share it in Sarai's channel on Saturday. Open up the link where it shows what happened in court. What did he go to jail for? Hector has shared it. Luis Carlos Reyes has shared it. Innovation Channel has shared it. Everybody has shared it. They translated English from Spanish to English. They have shared it. Why don't you share that? Puro chisme. And that's a bad spirit. For me, that's a bad spirit. So all I have to say is you need to pray, but really, 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 really pray because you know I used to do this too. I used to go to church and I used to kneel down. Padre Celestial, aquí estoy ante tus pies. Yeah. Same. Do you remember doing that? When
of
we used to
course I
stand
do.
up
I
and
was in
sing
the front.
la paz y la gracia de Cristo Jesús. That, you know what? We were like puppets. We were saying the same words over and over and over. Now, sometimes I don't even say anything. It's all in my heart. I just start crying and I start feeling the Holy Spirit in my heart because
Yes.
I have opened my heart to God, Kevin, and let God guide me and say the right things. That's why I'm not going to turn around and maldecir. How do you say that in English? I forgot.
Well, I before you say that, and curse would be, I think, the word.
Yeah. Yes.
I would say that Jesus said, "Pray for your enemies."
Amen.
Now, I'm going to be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to talk about historically, biblically speaking, King David, who is highly esteemed by God,
Mm-hmm.
who said, "King David is after my own heart," prayed for his enemies as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he prayed for his enemies was something along the lines of, "May you fall in the very hole that you dug, and may your very sword stab you
Remember that
through your
scripture?
chest." He prayed for that. So when Jesus says pray for an enemy, I say, well, which version of the prayer do you want? Do you want the turn the other cheek, or do you want the may you fall on your own sword? Because I have to tell you, el fruto del espíritu no es el chisme.
Mhm.
It's
I
not.
know. It's not.
It's not to create more darkness in your family. You're not uniting anybody.
And I'm
So
not going to do that. You know what? If this person wants to unite the people that want to hear lies, because he shared it, and I'm not taking it back. I'm not taking it back.
no,
You know,
no.
I told my niece when she confronted me about it this morning, I said, I didn't say any names. I didn't have to say any names. But he's over there metiendo cizaña, you know, trying to get them mad at me. And she told me that it broke her heart. And I said, it breaks my heart. The whole situation breaks my heart because I would just wish that my family members, which is the one that I love so much, and I even have good friends that are still there, that they would just actually ask God for guidance. That's all. And you know what? When God guides you, not a minister in a church, not
Yeah.
a man made of flesh. No,
Mm.
when God guides you,
Mhm.
you're going to go in there and you're going to say, I want to know the truth because I want to know who I'm serving.
That is oh my goodness! It seems like we're having the same conversations with our family. I just had a conversation with my dad where I didn't make mention of any of the court cases. I didn't make mention of any of the stuff that they're not allowed and that they're prohibited from seeing. I just used the very understanding that they have to make them see logic.
Right.
And in that, I told him, have you ever read the book of Revelations? Now, you and I know the book of Revelations. Anyone that's listening that may have read Revelations knows about Revelations. But understand that in this cult, the book of Revelations is a taboo. They're not explicitly said that you can't use it, but we are told that it's a mystery in itself and that we do not have the faith or understanding to fully interpret the book itself, which is why there's nothing about the New Age apostles that they claim exist and that will be giving the church to Christ, something that's not written in the book of Revelations. And just asking him in general. So I asked him, I said, hey, so you agree that in Jeremiah, it says, God says, seek the old path and seek the truth. Ask. And Christ himself says, knock.
Right.
Ask for it and you will receive it. No conditions. No, there's no, you have to believe in a man to do that. No, it's pretty clear and straightforward, right? So why can't you read the book of Revelations, right? And the response from him was the same thing. It was, well, I don't need to. I have everything that I need with the apostle.
Right.
So then I said, but is your doctrine not, it's in the name, the church, the light of the world, pillar of truth. And I forget what the other one was, justice, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. if there really were. So I said, so you should be able to read the book that contains the content of your hope, which is your salvation, and what it's going to look like and what it entails, and at least get some type of understanding of it.
Right.
So then I said, well, you know what? Look, let's make it even easier for you. Instead of you reading the book by yourself, go to your minister, go to your church, and tell him that you want to read the book of Revelations. Right. Tell him that.
Right.
And he immediately got to feel, oh, I don't need to do that. Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to read that? I don't need to read it with him. I can read it on my own. I was like, no. But wait a minute. You yourself said that the words in this book require the authority of the man of God to help you understand this.
Right.
But why do you feel like you're going to get in trouble by asking to read a book that contains nothing of your actual faith? Right. It doesn't talk about the election. Right. Why do you feel like you're going to get in trouble for seeking the truth? Right? So something that's even written in the Bible themselves, they're afraid of reading it, let alone go out there and research, the court cases to see if it's true. It's all a lie. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one day someone makes reference to the book of Revelations during one of their podcasts, and the LLDM member says, that's a lie. That's not
Well,
biblical.
I don't
That's
know if
not
you've
true.
heard this, but I've heard this many times that Samuel didn't like the book, and he said he was afraid of it.
Why would it be afraid of it?
Exactly. Exactly. No, he didn't like it. So it's just amazing. Again, like I said, I just invite each and every member that is in doubt to just pray. If you want to see, and eventually, you know what, Kevin, I can get him for you. The actual, actually, I have it on my computer. I can share with you all the documentation that shows, when he pleaded guilty and so forth. Not only did he plead guilty, he accepted
Yes,
that he
he
didn't have
accepted. That's right.
the right to appeal the case. That's amazing. That's the part that for me it's like, yeah. And so for me, again, I apologize if my family members get upset that I bring things up sometimes, but I'm at the point where I love your soul. I do it for the love of your soul. Nothing else.
Love.
My family members know me and I love them, that I don't like chisme. I don't like gossip.
No, we made that very clear out the gate between you and I, that we were no gossip.
Yeah, if we talk about something, it's going to be the truth. And the truth is that this man, Judge Cohen, told him, you are a sexual pedophile.
Labeled and branded by the judge.
Mm-hmm. And the pastors from La Luz del Mundo and the ministers have said, and a lot of members have said, oh, the girls why haven't they showed their face? They were right there in front of his face. He didn't even turn around to talk to them. There are a bunch of ministers there, Silverio Coronado, Lupe Hernandez, Zabaleta. They were all there in court. And the girls were there and told Nason to his face what he did to them. And
That's
you're
right.
telling me that these girls have not given their face and that they're fake and they got paid to say that?
And in the court case, they said, look at us.
Apartment with her parents. Really? You think that if the Catholic Church paid her a lot of money, that she would still be living there? You know what I mean? There's not only that, it's the reputation that they have now, the family that they have lost. I've lost my family.
So did I.
I've lost my family. I have faith that one day my family will, I'll get my family back again. I just have to leave it in God's hand. I truly, truly do. And I pray for them. And that's the reason of us speaking out, Kevin.
That's right.
Is for in Spanish decimos por amor a sus almas.
Love.
Love with their soul. It's just
LOV.
Let me do it. Let me see if it comes out. There you go.
Before we close out, right? Because I want to give us enough time to do this, and we're doing this on the weekly now at this point. So, anyone that's watching, thank you so much. I want to tell you. And I want you to come up with a story, right? A quick one, just enough to give them some of the juicy, real tea, not fake preservative tea, real tea, truth tea. Okay. So imagine you're in Mexico and you're working for the apostle, the man that brings salvation to your soul. And you are seated in the inner circle. And whatever your master tells you to do, you do. And as crazy as it sounds to say it, I said it myself. He was my master, this man. Imagine he's getting a private event together in one of his houses, luxury mansions actually, in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And he tells you, hey, I'm going to have a private event. And after we're done, I want you to clean up the mess. Not say anything, just exercise discretion. The Lord's work is going to be done here. So, of course, anything that your master tells you, you do. Are you a fool to not? Especially when he tells you directly in person, you've been blessed. Mm-hmm. So you pick two of your most trusted people that you know. They won't say anything no matter what. Mm-hmm. And about half an hour later, you're outside in the patio and you notice two vans pull up, tinted black. And these young girls, these sisters, walk out, but their bodies are covered in blankets. You don't know what's going on, but you think, well, he has private events all the time. and they're dressed up according to the theme. So why not? It doesn't, nothing out of the normal, right?
Mhm.
A few hours go by, you're loitering around and you don't know what to do. And all of a sudden they leave. The girls are gone. They're now in their 2 black vans. They've all gone. The apostle is nowhere to be seen, and neither are his brothers. And you wait a few more minutes just to make sure that everything's cleared out. And you walk in there expecting to clean up cups, plates, table, whatever. But instead, you open the door to the basement that has an underground pool. And the first thing you see are bikini on the floor. The second thing you see is a used condom on the floor. The third thing you notice is that there's a tray and there's white powdered residue on the tray. You see broken bottles of liquor in the pool, and you see, well, other things that you're just in disbelief about. But you clean up the mess and you don't say anything. And the best part, the apostle never talks to you about it ever again. If you think I'm making this story up, I'm not. This really happened. And
Did you experience that?
I can't say that.
Wow.
I can't say if I did or I didn't. For the sake of protecting the identities of the other people involved. Yeah, it just...
story before.
You think it's a lie. It's not a lie. This man he was a PDF file. He was graping this is real stuff. It's crazy to tell you as a story. I'm not making this up. There was broken bottles of liquor. There was white powdered residue on trays. There was used condoms on I'm not making this up. But I'm not going to tell you if I was there or if I wasn't.
Right. Right. And it's good. It's good that you don't share.
And it doesn't matter if you believe it or if you don't.
Yeah.
We know what we saw.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I'm going to tell you the true story. And I think
lay it on me.
I think I've shared you this with this. I didn't realize it until all this happened. What could have happened to me, but by the grace of all God, it didn't. When I was like 15, 16 years old, I can't remember exactly when, maybe in 14, I don't know. Nena Bravo, which is one of the groomers she was the driver for Samuel. She invited me to stay behind because Samuel was visiting the church, and we were going to feed him breakfast in the morning. And I begged my mom to let me stay, and my mom let me stay, kind of afraid that my dad was going to get upset because, she never let me stay anywhere. So I stayed, got up early in the morning. We cut some food, made some coffee, and went upstairs. The Tijuana church had like a little casa pastoral, or not even casa pastoral, it was like a little 2-room thing, a little living room and the bedroom and with a bathroom for him when he came over. It wasn't like now that, they go to the high-end hotels and stuff. They would stay in a little part of the house.
Yeah, they would.
White church, a big white church, the white La Casa Blanca, the White House in LA. He has his own place, right? A lot bigger now. We went up there and she knocked. I don't know if she knocked or I knocked. It's been so long ago. I mean, I'm 67 now. It's been a long time ago. 50 years ago. And he said, "Come in, pase." I came in, and he's standing there butt naked.
Wait, repeat that one more time because people think this is a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
That this is fake somehow.
It's not fake. And what happened was that I ran like no other, and I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, what did we do? Did he?" And I was questioning myself. Did he say come in? Did she open the door before he said come in? And we walked in on him butt naked? No, this girl was taking me in there as a groomer. And I ran out thinking in my head, my innocence, my still believing in him, saying, "Oh my gosh, we committed something horrible." And she stayed there. She grabbed me, like wanted me to stay. And I just went like this. I left. And the scary thing was, the neighbors in Mexico, they're all dirt. There wasn't even pavement in the street. It was a colonia.
Yeah.
When Vista, and I took the bus to the border, and then I took the light rail and the bus to my mom's house. Never said anything. It went away. This whole time, all these years, it didn't even come to my mind or my memory, because I felt like fue una imprudencia la nuestra. We walked in.
You offended him. Yes.
Him, and I'm
yes.
like, oh gosh, what did we do? But after all of this came up, I added 1 and 1, and it equals 2.
It does.
Exactly. But by the grace of God, it didn't happen to me because I ran.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
It's oh my God.
Yeah. And so you're saying, I can't say, but you know it's true. I'm telling you, it happened to me. It happened to me. So to my family members, they're probably going to go, why didn't you tell us before? Because I thought it was that we came in and we weren't supposed to go in the room, and maybe I didn't hear him say come in. You know what I mean? And it was like it was something that just happened so fast that I ran out. Never brought it again. I was too ashamed to tell my mom that it happened or anybody. So
Of course.
And you know, I know we're almost done, but I just want to say this is that it's sad, but I understand with so many victims that people tend to criticize them and say, why didn't you ever speak up? Because you know what?
Don't understand.
They don't get it. You know, and now everything, like when I heard Alicia talking, oh my God, I love that girl. It's like it just broke my heart to see, you know, when I heard Leti Topete talking too and saying, when I was looking for my little sister and, you know, I saw that I found her in Samuel's room, and he was making her grab his private area. Her little sister was 8 years old. It's like, you think about that and you go, why do you think someone would make up a story like that? Why would you think that someone would expose themselves to that? To my family members that I love so much, do you really think I want for you not to have communication with me? Do you really think my goal is to separate myself from you? I'm not. I'm just doing this because I love you. And I love the fact that one day, God, we have such a merciful God. I really truly believe that, Kevin. And we have such a merciful God. And my prayer every day is, God, open my family's heart and mind, their spiritual mind. One of the biggest songs I love is Let Jesus Take the Wheel.
Jesus take the wheel.
That's all I can do.
What else do you say to that?
Yeah.
And you know, it's your feelings are felt. At least I feel it. And I know you're not the only one that feels that way. And it's crazy that something so beautiful of the heart will be taken as a piece of trash because they're convinced otherwise. Not because it's not.
Yes.
They're just convinced that it's not. Like, how are you, like, these people, the best example is these people are convinced that a diamond is no different than a piece of cow dung.
Exactly.
That's what's crazy.
And we're going to have so many other subjects to talk about.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much that we want to talk in English, you know, on our podcast, but there's so many things that I want to say. It's even like the federal case is coming up. You know, I think about
federal case. Yep.
All that stuff that they found in his you know, phone and in his laptop and his iPad. It's like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yep. If you think it's crazy, it's not us. It's a documentary. You go to Netflix. It's called Unveiled. HBO. It's called Surviving La Luz del Mundo, right? On VIX, it's called La Oscuridad.
La Oscuridad del Apóstol or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. Like, there's 3 different platforms that are talking about this. This is real.
Right.
we don't know how else to say it. If you'd be like, oh, next thing you're gonna tell us is that he had secret tunnels inside of the main church where he was sneaking in and out of. Well, sit down and let me tell you a story real quick about how I saw him coming out of one of those tunnels that they now sealed up.
So, how's he disappearing? Because I used to be in choir. You did too. But we were up on the top for the whole. And I said, where did he come from? He was magic. He appeared. That's what it was.
Jesus. Oh God. He dissolved his body and resolved it over here, and now he's at the top. But he can only do this in this one spot. He can't do this to go everywhere. Guys, you guys are lying. Next you're going to tell me is that there was tunnels underneath the main church to each of their houses. Well, sit down and let me tell you a story about how we know that there were tunnels that actually traveled to their houses. Yes, you think this is a lie. No, we have a lot of things, but yes, the time is up for today.
I do want to say something that on our chat, we have Julian Ramos, we have Laura Mosquera.
Gracias, Julian.
And we have my niece. Look at her name.
Tabitha.
Another Tabby. And oh my gosh, talk about a beautiful testimony with her. She loves the Lord. She truly, truly does. And she actually opened up to me when she heard the testimony of the girls. That's when she just broke down and said, Thea, I believe you. I believe the girls. And I just felt so good. And I go, there's a reason why they named you like me. So I just want to give a shout out to my sobrina. I love her so much. It's not about whose sides you are. It's not about you're on side of La Luz del Mundo or you're on side of Tia Tabby or Kevin. It's about being in God, being in Jesus, living in Christ, living like a true Christian. I'm not going to say, or I'm like, no me voy a dar el baño de pureza. I'm not going to say I'm pure and clean. I have sins. No. I sin every day. No. But I always ask God every day, Lord, keep me straight. And like I've said this before, Kevin, I feel closer to the Lord now than I did before. Way closer.
And to anyone that doubts us, if we left the grace of God and his love and his light to be amongst the demons, then why do they still persecute us? Why do they still come after us in our dreams? Why is it that we have stories of people that have left, that are trying to find their way? Why is witchcraft being done on them? Like this isn't why? If we are of Beelzebub and the devil, why is he hurting his own? Like Jesus talks about this. He doesn't. When he was asked if he got rid of the demons in Beelzebub's name, why would the devil divide his own kingdom? Like if he were dumb and didn't have experience as one of God's highest angels. Like seriously? Come on. Put it two together. But anyway, everyone have a wonderful night and we will see y'all again next Monday.
Monday. We'll do it at the same time. It works for me. Yay!
Bye.
Thank you guys for being with us. Share the link with other people, especially the thinking people. Share with it. Let's trust in the Lord. The way the Lord opened our eyes. Everyone that's on our comments and the people that are hearing that's not commenting, just let them know. If you guys want to listen a little bit of English of what's going on, go for it. And I don't know if you have a specific email that you want to share later on, but we might want to do that as well so that share the experience.
Yeah, we'll get our email going. Yeah. A la familia de Tavi, los que buscan según los frutos del Espíritu, en las palabras de nuestro querido estimado Juan Gabriel. Un besito a todos los que están allá en la parte de atrás. Adiós. Bye.
You crack me up. Dios te bendiga, amigo.
Amén. Dios te bendiga.
Bye-bye.